Hi everyone, welcome to drawing class. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit awkward, but if you will please work with this very humble setup class. I just wanted to introduce myself and go over the syllabus, talk about my expectations, and also office hours, supplies, and safety forms, okay? And we'll also talk about our first assignments and such, and as well as the course evaluations, okay? But I am very new to this, so if you would please bear with me. This whole video class making, it's very hard to interact with you, obviously, because of the COVID thing and because this is all done online. But I really want to be able to connect with all of you, each one-on-one. So that is why I'm doing this. So thank you for looking and watching my awkward videos. Okay, so let's get started. So I sent everyone, so this is drawing 1 and 2. Okay, it's combined. Drawing 2, I will ask you to do a few extra assignments or some harder things for each assignment, but it is combined, so drawing 1 and 2. Let's go over the syllabus first. So I sent you the syllabus via email, and I also uploaded it onto Blackboard. If you have any trouble getting onto Blackboard, you have to let me know ASAP, and you also have to let the ITS, school ITS, IT office know immediately so that you can get access to all the files and documents, because everything, all the course content will be on Blackboard, okay? So that's first. If you see that you can't access anything or it's not showing up, please let me know right away, okay? So I'm gonna pull up the syllabus right now. So if you would also pull up the syllabus, okay? It would be best if you actually read through the syllabus before by yourself. I won't be going over the whole thing, it's super long. I'm just gonna be pointing out a few important things, okay? All right, so meeting time and location, okay? So this is an asynchronous class. This course is taught completely online, and I will be available on Teams for the full class hours, like the original class hours. So that's from 1 o'clock to 3:45. Also, I also have faculty mentoring hours, which basically means my office hours, and that's from Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Okay, so if you just want to talk to me on Teams, like call me on Teams, do a quick video chat with me on Teams, or email me, and it's urgent, send me a quick email or just call me on Teams. If you also don't know how to access Teams or don't know what that is, you should know, so please let me know if you don't know, okay? And you can, if you feel more comfortable like writing up an email and asking me something, you can do that, or you can, if you feel that it's more comfortable to just call me on Teams, like face-to-face, video chat, or just like phone chat on Teams, you can do that as well, okay? If you need additional hours, other than my faculty office hours and my class hours, please let me know beforehand, okay? But please don't like call me, you can email me anytime, okay? But please don't like call me on Teams at like 10 o'clock p.m. I won't pick up, okay? Unless you schedule an appointment with me, okay? All right, let's keep moving on. Contact information. My email is Deborah without an H .koo@rccc.edu, and I will check and respond within 48 hours. Usually I'm good about responding to emails. Sometimes it takes me a day or two, depending on how busy I am or if I like you or not. But most of the time I like people, so. All right, outcomes. Let's go over student outcomes. It says, upon completion of this course, the student will be able to demonstrate intermediate proficiency using a wide variety of drawing techniques, demonstrate intermediate knowledge of and utilize an array of drawing mediums and materials, demonstrate the ability to execute a highly resolved rendering drawn from life. Observational drawing, demonstrate advanced knowledge and drawing terminology. Okay, so that is drawing 2. For drawing 1, it's a little bit different. So let me just pull that up. Syllabus, I'm sorry, just bear with me. Outcomes are demonstrate the ability to draw from observation, utilizing a wide variety of drawing techniques and processes, demonstrate and understand the use of drafting and citing tools, demonstrate a working knowledge of an array of drawing mediums and materials, demonstrate the ability to execute a resolved drawing that illustrates strong composition and volume, knowledge of drawing terminology, and demonstrate a practical knowledge of graphic principles by applying them to drafting and drawing. It's a lot of terminology in there, but I think the important points that are emphasized, the important outcomes that are emphasized in this class are drawing from life. That's called observational drawing, and learning how to use an array of different drawing materials and like techniques, like shading techniques, pencil, charcoal, etc., different papers, etc., like that. So observational drawing is key. We're not drawing cartoons, we're not drawing from our imagination, we're not drawing abstract or non-representational works. We are drawing figurative, representational, objective, figurative art, okay? Drawing from life. Drawing what you see versus what you think, or what you imagine or what you feel, okay? So that's very important, okay? And if you have any questions about these outcomes, please let me know, okay? All right, let's go over, continue to go over the syllabus. So I sent you all a very, very detailed course schedule, okay? So it states everything that we'll be doing in class that you will have to do for class, and all the homework assignments for each class, okay? Just letting you know. So the things that we do in class, you should expect to take at least 3 hours, okay? So class itself, the class work, should take about 3 hours. If it's taking you 1 hour, you're going through it way too quickly, okay? Maybe like fast is like 2 hours, but imagine that you are actually in school physically and taking the class, okay? You're listening, you're not listening, but you're reading through because you're at home. You're trying to learn the new content, and you're doing the exercises, and you're taking the breaks, you're taking a drink of water. I don't know. It should take 3 hours, okay? So take it seriously, please. Homework also should take at least a good 1 to 3 hours, depending on the homework assignment. Okay, so for each class, right? That's 3 hours. Expect to do at least 1 to 3 hours of additional work for homework. Okay. For projects, like big assignment projects, those should take a total of 10 to 12 hours. Okay. And I will give you some class time to work on those. But if you have a project, right, and you're like in a couple hours, you're like, I'm done. That's a big no-no, okay? So if you see like that the hours don't add up to 10 to 12 hours, it's not enough, okay? So those are my expectations. Even though I can't like see you working physically, please kind of keep track of how many hours you put into each class and each assignment and each homework assignment. Okay? Okay, very good. So we talked about that. Yeah, it's a lot to read, like this course schedule, but please read through it. I tried to highlight all the deadline dates and all the assignments. You can send to me like a photo through my email. If you have if you want me to check in, you can send a quick photo, or you can call me on Teams and just talk to me like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, am I doing this right? Can you just check this for me quickly? Like, bother me all you want. That's your job as a student, is to bother the instructor. If it's not bothering, that's our job. So we expect that of you, to ask questions, okay? Even though everything is done online, please think of me as a human that you can connect to, and not just like a Blackboard page, okay? All right, so read through that and let me know if you have questions. The first assignment is something called, the first kind of like big unit is gestures, lines, and values, okay? So we'll be doing a lot of gesture work, we'll be doing a lot of line drawing, and start learning about values, okay? The first assignment, I'm gonna tell you this now, will be the hardest assignment this whole semester, okay? The first assignment is very hard, okay? So definitely be ready for it, and not many people do well, okay? They get really confused and frustrated, but if you do, you know, do your best, if you get over this, know that the next assignments will get easier in a ways. Well, it's different easy, okay? Also, don't get frustrated by, you know, your grade or the process for the first assignment, okay? This is a very different assignment in that, unlike the other assignments, which are very technical and observational work, this one is more abstract. And I said, you know, we're staying away from abstract stuff, right? But this is maybe the most abstract piece you will do this semester, okay? All right, and let's see, so that's that. Once again, if you have questions, please let me know. This schedule, like each class schedule, will also be a separate Blackboard announcement, okay? And your grades will be uploaded on Blackboard as well. I'm a little slow with grades, so if you will be patient with me. But because like I'm also seeing all your work like on a digital image, it will be hard for me to like really see your pencil marks and your shading work. So for your part, if you could please send me a high quality image, okay? No crazy angles, and I'll go over that with you when we start to turn in assignments. Like for sketchbook work, like small homework assignments and exercises, it doesn't really matter, but when you're turning in like big projects, I expect a very clean, high quality digital image, okay? So let's go over materials and supplies. Okay, this is also on Blackboard, and I also sent you an email. So what you will need is an 18-inch by 24-inch drawing pad. That's medium to heavyweight, which is 300 or 400 series. So if you are at the store and you are looking at the drawing paper, usually those are just fine. But if you could please feel the thickness of the paper, and if you see that it's kind of very thin, try to find something that's a little bit thicker. Not like super thick like Bristol board, but something that is not paper thin or like printer paper thin. Okay, and it should say that it is for graphite or charcoal. Okay, so you will need at least 24 sheets of that. Sketchbook, you'll need a sketchbook. It doesn't have to be fancy, as long as it's okay paper and not like printer or super thin paper, please, but no smaller than 8 inches by 10 inches. You also need newsprint paper, that's 18 by 24, okay? Graphite pencils, 2H, HB, B, 2B, 4B, and 6B. Charcoal pencils, 3, so 1 soft, 1 medium, and 1 hard. A kneaded eraser, gum or rubber eraser, compressed charcoal sticks, so at least 3 of those, fine charcoal, blending stump, 18" by 24" drawing board. If you don't have a drawing board, so these drawing boards right here can get a little bit pricey, right? As long as you have a clean, large surface and you're not trying to draw this on your lap or like on a tiny little surface. If you have like a piece of cardboard or like a piece of wood, that's fine as well. Sometimes what I do is I will go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and buy like a flat wooden sheet that's kind of cheaper than these wooden boards that you can get at the art store. So that's what I would recommend, and a metal ruler about ideally 18 inches. Okay. And then recommended but not required is a drawing easel. Okay, so all these things like we would have at the school, right, if you're taking classes there. And I know that not everyone has or is able to get an easel or drawing board and all these materials. For the first few weeks, if you could please prioritize getting at least sketchbook, okay, that's important. And then this 18 by 24" drawing paper, okay, right? So this is going to be kind of intimidating because probably not many of you have worked on a surface this big, right? Most of you have worked on maybe like printer size paper, 8.5 by 11 inches, or smaller, right? So this means you're working big, okay? So we're gonna get used to working big and shading in this whole page, okay? I don't want tiny little drawings in the center, right? A pair of scissors here, okay? It's gonna be kind of hard in the beginning if you're not used to drawing on a picture plane this size, okay? So that's like drawing paper. This is something called newsprint paper. And newsprint paper is kind of like the paper that, well, it is the paper that newspapers are made out of. So it's like very thin, very cheap. They're ideal for sketches. So, you know, it's not very high quality paper. We use this for sketches and exercises, okay? So that's that. So about pencils. So we have a range of pencils that you'll need, and it's really important that you have a range of different pencils, okay? 6B, 4B, 2B, BHB, 2H, 4H, at least those, okay? Maybe not 4H, but what these numbers mean is that the B's mean that the lead is softer, the graphite lead is softer. So when you shade in, you can shade in a lot darker, okay? That's 6B. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the H's, right? So the higher the H's, like 4H, you can think of kind of the H as like a hard lead. So when you shade, it's very light, okay? And you try, the lead is very hard, okay? So let's say you try to shade in like very dark with an H pencil, you can't do it, okay? You're just gonna scratch your paper, okay? Whereas the B, like the 6B, it's very soft, okay? So you try to shade in very darkly, and you don't have to press that hard, okay? And you'll get very dark marks. But very important that you have a range of pencils, okay? So the erasers, what the heck is a kneaded eraser versus a rubber eraser versus a gum eraser, okay? So this is something called a kneaded eraser, okay? And a kneaded eraser, it's kind of like a piece of gum that you kind of, yeah, it's kind of gross, it's gray, and like, this is very useful. So kneaded eraser, it's very good for when you use charcoal, when you can like make a little point like this, and then try to wipe away like little details that you want to get rid of, okay? Versus a rubber eraser, right? I get confused, rubber or gum eraser. It's like your regular standard eraser. I think this is a gummy eraser. I mean, I always get confused. Why isn't this called a gummy eraser? But this is called a kneaded eraser. And this gummy eraser is kind of softer, more rubbery than a rubber eraser. I think rubber erasers are those like pink erasers that you find at any store. And then this is pencil sharpener. Okay. But that you'll need to, obviously, unless you want to find a different way to sharpen your utensils. Okay. And then charcoal. We're going to talk about these later, but something very important. Okay. So this is charcoal pencil. So it looks like a pencil. Okay. It's the lead here is charcoal. And then compressed charcoal is something that looks like this. It's like a charcoal stick. Okay. Versus fine charcoal. And I'll go over this again when we start doing charcoal assignments. Fine charcoal is like this very thin charcoal, very soft, very delicate, very fragile. It won't break super easily, but it's wonderful for making light marks. Okay, so that's later. Charcoal gets super dirty. Your fingers get dirty. Okay, so keep it in a box or like keep it in a Ziploc. Okay, it's gonna get everywhere. It's gonna ruin all your nice artwork. Okay. So that's that. Sketchbook, I think that's it for the materials. The drawing kits that the school promised you, but you probably won't get for a little bit. That will be available hopefully on the 24th, okay? So like I said, because we have like assignments due, try to get the paper and at least a pencil and eraser and a sharpener if you need one. Okay. Yeah, and sketchbook. Okay. Blending stump. It's like a piece of rolled up paper that's been rolled up very tightly, and you can use it to blend pencil and charcoal. And you won't need those for a bit. You can use it on the first assignment, but not necessarily. Okay. Good. So that's materials. The next thing we have to do is go over the safety training form, okay? Everyone is required to sign this, okay? Everyone is required to sign this. I'm just gonna check something. Okay, so everyone is required to sign this and read over this, okay? And I sent you a digital signing sheet. That if you could please sign and send to me by the 20th. The department collects these from all the students, and it goes through our person who's in charge of safety, and that's John Williams. So if you don't get it, he's gonna hunt you down. Okay? Just kidding. So please read over this. I think this is even more important because everyone is at home and I can't, kind of watch over or see how you are kind of working and see if you're working in a safe way, which is hard for me and also hard for you because if you have never drawn before, like you don't know what to do. But here, let's go over this. So please pull this up. It's also on Blackboard. So number one, it just basically says, you have to review this and sign this before taking classes. Number two, behave responsibly. Do not work in a studio if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, legal or illegal, okay? Yes, that's pretty much straightforward. Number three, do not bring any food or beverages into the studio and do not eat, drink, or smoke in studio. Never taste anything in studios. Do not put anything in your mouth, eye, etc. while in studio. For example, do not bite your nails while in the studio. Okay, so this is my little studio, and it's nice that I have the privilege of having this space, but not every one of you will have like a space this big, right? Or like a table that's just kind of clean and no one else is using it, right? Or you don't have like an easel or a drawing board. But if you are working on a table and you are having your morning coffee or a daily dose of orange juice, please be careful that, you know, if you put it on the table, that you don't spill it and ruin your nice work, okay? When you're working with charcoal also, you're gonna be exposed to a lot of charcoal dust, okay? And I remember when I was in art school, we're doing charcoal assignments, like I would blow my nose and my boogers would be black. So try not to breathe in like eraser shavings or charcoal or graphite, okay? If you're working with charcoal eraser bits, like, you know, make a nice little pile and then like dump it in the waste bin, okay? So that you and your family members aren't exposed, okay? Eating, I guess it's a safety thing, and it's also like a kind of not ruining your work thing. So let's say you ate a donut and you ate it with your hands and then you went back to drawing. I don't want to see little oil grease marks on your paper, okay? So things like that. Don't bite your nails. Don't do anything, okay? Like that. Number 4, always wear closed-toed shoes. No open-toed shoes in the studio. Okay, so you're in your house, but please be aware, these things, these pencils are sharp, okay? So let's say like I'm bare-toed like this. Sorry to show you my feet. But okay, so and you drop your pencil and it goes boom like this. It's gonna be an ouchie experience, okay? Or your metal ruler, okay? So just be careful. If you have younger siblings or younger family members who can maybe hurt themselves, just be aware and put your materials in a safe spot. You don't need to get a fancy like art toolbox. You just need a cardboard shoebox. That's all you need. Like, put it in there. Don't leave it out, okay? And keep you and your family members safe, okay? Number 5, dress appropriately for material, technique, process, equipment that you will be using. For example, do not wear loose clothing, long sleeves, ties, scarves, necklaces, and your ID lanyard, or long hair down if you're operating the lathe or pug mill, etc., etc. So this is probably okay for drawing, okay? But, you know, like hair, if you have long hair, or like you're wearing loose clothing, just be careful that doesn't get caught in your pencil or something like that, okay? Also, if you're working with pencil or charcoal, don't wear white unless you want to ruin your clothes, okay? Number 6, I don't think it pertains to us. Number 7, spills. We're not working with any liquid media, but if you spill your drinks, please clean it up immediately. Know your locations of studio safety equipment, etc. That doesn't pertain. Report any incident to your instructor. Discuss any health concerns with your physician if you need to. Be certain to provide a list of all materials and techniques used in the course. Okay, so even though these might not apply to us at home, if you are using studios like on campus, because you can sign up to use the studios on campus if you sign up online beforehand, please follow by this, okay? Someone always has to be supervising, not always, but like they have to know that you're there, okay? Let's go to number 13. Training. If you are going to be using any of the machinery, if you're at school, you have to go through proper training, okay? So make sure you follow the right protocol for that. Report all injuries to the instructor, major or minor. At the end of each studio, clean up your work area. That pertains to when you're at home and also when you're at school, okay? Name, sign, semester, year, course, okay? All this is on Blackboard and on your syllabus. My name is Deborah Koo. Sign and please send to me, okay? Very good. And I think that's it for this first part of the video. The next